Hey guys, it's Deneen here with December Daily 2024 story number 2. And for this one, I am using a super fun idea that is all over the internet. It is called an iris shutter card. And so this mechanism is something that you can put together and it will kind of open up like the lens of an old camera, right? And so it's really, really fun. I did not make this one myself. I did end up getting one off of Etsy and I made it my own in terms of size. And I am probably going to work on my own version of this, but probably not this year. I do have some things that I'd like to add to it, things I'd like to change. I just don't have the time at the moment. I did make the background, so that cluster of circles that you see is available in my Etsy shop. But for the shutter part, that is something that you could probably find on the internet and also at Etsy. Alrighty, let's get started putting this together. So here I am with my pieces. Again, this background here is something that I did create. It's a modified version of something that I made last year, but I wanted to have two super huge circles here. So that is, again, available in my Etsy shop. What I am going to be adding is, again, an iris shutter piece. And this is the version that I originally made in a smaller size with the file that I purchased from Etsy. You can see it's just, I guess, a beta version, so to speak. And if you put it down on something, you can open up the shutter and you can close the shutter. And I just thought it was super fun, but I wanted it to be larger because I wanted to put a photo underneath and I really didn't want it to be a super, super tiny photo. So I went ahead and I made larger versions by enlarging everything in Silhouette Studio. And we're going to see how these larger versions work. I have not put them onto anything yet. I don't know how it's going to turn out. They seem like they're going to be okay, but I'm not 100% sure at this point in time. Okay, so let's start putting this together one circle at a time. So here are my intentions for these large iris shutter pieces. I want to put them on the two large circles, which measure approximately 5¼ inches wide, I believe. So these two pieces are going to go there. I also have some other things. These are some die cuts from the Ali Edwards release this year. I have my two photos and I have a piece or a circle of journaling. These photos are going to go behind the shutters so that the shutters can open and reveal the photos. So that's what I am planning on doing. I have these two large pieces that are going to be the covers for those shutters as well. I'm searching for another piece that I printed out here, but you can see I'm not finding it. I do eventually find it. It falls from somewhere. So eventually you'll see there's another piece that I had also printed out with a saying on it. In the meantime, since I'm searching everything and I'm not finding it, let's just get moving on everything else. This I decide that I want to put on the right-hand side of my album. I turned it both ways. I don't have story number 1 done at the moment that I'm making this video. So I do decide that it's going to go on the right-hand side. And the first thing I want to do is I want to add my journaling. So that's going to go in that lowest left-hand corner circle. I'm just adding that with rolling adhesive and I formatted that into a circle in Photoshop. So that's it for that one. Now I want to put this photo down. I think I want to put the one of my son and my dad on the top. And then I have to figure out what direction I want the little tab sticking out to point when it's open and when it's closed. Because you will see there that as you move that piece, it moves from one side to the other. So I have to make that decision. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive around the inside and I am going to adhere my photo to the back. Oh, there's the red piece. That's the piece I was looking for. It just popped out of nowhere. Now you need to go ahead and put adhesive on the back, and you need to be careful because there are some tabs that you cannot cover. So you have to be careful while you're doing that. And now I'm going to just try to place it. You'll see here, I pick it up and put it down, pick it up and put it down. Eventually, I am happy with the placement. And then this cut piece from one of the Ali Edwards papers this year is going to cover all of those pieces. You can see there's tabs sticking out, and those are all needed for this mechanism to move, but you cannot put any adhesive near them at all. So you have to put adhesive very sparingly around the tabs, and then I could add my top. So that tab is going to open up, and you are going to see the picture, which is super duper fun. Here's the second one. So I have to decide how I want this one to lay. The tab, do I want it to lay towards the top, towards the bottom? Just a matter of preference here. Again, putting adhesive on the back, putting the photo on there, and then putting the adhesive around the outside. And I think I put it across the photo as well. So going to go ahead and put that on. This is going to have that ho, ho, ho circle on the top of it. And that is also from Ali Edwards this year. So I fuss here a little bit. I'm going back and forth. But as I add my adhesive, again, not putting it on the tabs at all because those need to move. And there I'm trying to place it so the ho, ho, ho's are straight as I put it on. So I'm just fussing here a little bit with the photo and trying to find a good place for it. And then that will also get adhered to the large circle base. Yeah, so that is just as simple as it is. I know it seems like it's super difficult, but it's really not. And if you are interested in purchasing this file from another Etsy seller, I will certainly give you the name of that shop if you would like. For this one, I'm going to put one of the die cut circles. I choose the darker green, and then I add this. So thankful for these people. I'm not really sure. That might have been from the gratitude story kit, and I recolored it red. So I'm putting that on there at the top. Love that. I love red. This is the year of red for me. I just absolutely love it so very much. At this point, I am going to go ahead and pull out some of my embellishments. I pull out one of the ornaments and then my little cup full of other stuff and things. I then go ahead, I think I find some vellum pieces and I'm just going to start placing them. Some of them are just way too large for that circle. The smallest, that one right there fits nicely, but I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it. So I finally settle on this ornament and I put it on there sideways. And I was thinking about that. As I was adding it on, those circles, the big circles kind of look like ornaments with those tabs sticking out. Okay, so let's get this on there and then it is time to find a number. And I did originally start with this fancy number 2, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like it stood out enough. So you'll see me go back and forth a little bit here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I pull out some white pieces from, gosh, they are super old, from the storytelling kit or the storytelling collection. And I'm not happy with that either. So I think I end up going back to the red. Yeah, and so you're going to see the video end here because this is where I stopped. But then after thinking about it for a little bit, I made some changes. So let's take a look and see at the changes that I made. I don't show the changes until at the end, but I wanted to point them out. I cut down those 2 tabs sticking out and I put sticker tabs on them and that made me happy. And I also put a piece of transparency with like some words around the outside on that bottom circle. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So let's peel this top covering off. And to the right, you're going to see there's my transparent piece. And I'm going to place that between the iris shutter and the cover so that the words are right around the inside of that opening. And then I'll go ahead and I'll add a little bit more adhesive here just to make sure it's sticking. Once again, avoiding those tabs. And then I will put that on top again. So that was just, I don't know, those white circles when they were closed, they were very boring to me. So I wanted to change them a little bit. And now I'm happy. The other thing I did was on the 2, I stamped Just Joy. And that made me happy. I had the red 2, I changed it to the white 2, and I stamped on it. So I liked that as well. So those were the changes that I made. Again, let's take a look at how it looks in my album. So I think I made one more change here. I added 2 little gold stars to the centers of those iris shutters. And again, that is on a transparency. So the transparency is over the mechanism. So it's that star is not on top of the paper because it would not open and close if it were. Okay, so that is just a tip if you're going to give this a shot. And then let's take a look at what they look like when they're open. And there you have the photos. And I really, really love how this turned out. Again, let me just kind of reiterate what I had said earlier. The background piece, the one that is in the rings of my album, was created by me. So that piece is available in my Etsy shop. The iris shutter pieces were not created by me. And they can be purchased on Etsy, or you can actually Google that and you can find different templates and patterns all over the place. It's everywhere if you're interested in that. But if you do decide to get yourself one of those templates or patterns, you are absolutely 100% able to reach out to me because I have put several of them together, and I could definitely give you advice on that if you are interested. Alrighty, that is it for story number 2, guys. This is super fun. I'm so excited that we are starting our journey through December. It is not December here right now, but this is a story that is just about my people, so it was definitely able to be done ahead of time. Okay, if you have any questions, you could leave them in the comments below. Thanks so much for playing along, and we will see you in the next video.